Assalamu alaikum, audience members. I'd like to first introduce myself. My name is Dr. Shama Rasheed. I'm a board-certified child, adolescent, and adult psychiatrist practicing here in the greater Houston area. I am currently serving as the Chief Medical Officer and Medical Director of New Horizon Hospital. I also have a private practice in Pearland with Texas Psychiatry and as well as New Horizon Outpatient Services. My post today is in regards to balancing your emotional health during the COVID-19 crisis. I believe that the practice of medical psychiatry is most successful when you combine it with the foundation of faith-based psychology. So with that being said, I believe that COVID-19 gives us a lot to think about in terms of who we are, where we are right now, and where we're going. A balance of physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and intellectual health is key in maintaining a good perspective during these difficult times. And what do I mean by that? I mean that when we live in a world where we feel like things are out of our control in terms of what our government is doing, in terms of the medical treatments and cures that may or may not be available right now for us, in terms of our work situations, and even in terms of our personal life, we have an incredible sense of not feeling in control of the situation. And of course, the natural inclination for us as Muslims is to say, trust Allah. Allah didn't say worry. Allah didn't say stress. Allah said, trust me. How does he ask us to bear these times? And it really is through Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's incredible wisdom. And the famous saying is always take the middle path. And to me, that means balancing yourself in these four realms: emotional health, physical health, spiritual health, and intellectual health. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how to do that and how it can translate into really maintaining a sense of balance and really successfully navigating through these difficult and challenging times. First of all, when things are out of control, we focus on what we do have control over. One of the basic things that we have control over is the things that we do with our physical health. So even though we're stuck at home, making sure that we balance our day by exercising regularly, at least 30 to 40 minutes a day, even if it's taking a walk, if it's doing YouTube videos at home that have self-exercise, doing something with your kids and family, if you have family members at home, anything to get your body up and moving. Remembering that instead of eating 3 large meals a day, balancing your diet by eating every 2.5 to 3 hours with a smaller meal, so grazing on 5 small meals a day, is extremely, extremely healthy for the body, in that it maintains metabolism, and it also helps to maintain glucose levels, which are sugar levels in your brain that actually go down every 2.5 to 3 hours naturally if we don't eat. So making sure that also we are hydrated with 6 bottles of water or liquid a day. It's very, very important. Making sure that we continue to gain access to healthcare when we need it through televideo. Many of the doctors that I'm speaking to have access to over 300 physicians here in Houston through our Muslim Medical Network. We have a Muslim Medical Alliance here. I know that many of us are practicing telemedicine, including myself. So making sure that our healthcare needs are met, our refills of our medications are done properly on time is also important. So these are some basic aspects. And then, of course, one of the most important aspects of physical health is making sure that we sleep enough. So maintaining sleep hygiene. A lot of us are out of work or out of our normal school schedule, so we're sleeping late, we're waking up late, our schedules are completely out of whack. Making sure that we take time out to sleep at a regular time and waking up at a regular time is called sleep hygiene, and not taking naps in the day encourages us to go to sleep earlier and on time is extremely important. I always say that sleep is the cornerstone of mental health. Without good sleep, you're never ever going to feel up to par in terms of your mood and your energy levels, concentration, things like that. Also, I think part of physical health is self-care. Taking time out to maybe, put some hot water in a tub and just lay in the tub with some Epsom salts, some menthol, some arnica. You can get these bags from Walmart. You can even order them online, and kind of allowing your body to de-stress is also important. The second part, so that's the first part, is physical health. The second part, remember, there's 4 parts: physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and intellectual health. The second part I would recommend is emotional health. And emotional health is composed of 2 areas. One is what's going on externally emotionally, meaning surrounding yourself with positive, nurturing relationships and maintaining those, and maybe stepping away from the ones that are more stressful for you. This is a good time for you to really reflect on who it is that's really lifting you up or bringing you down, because there's only 2 types of people in the world, right? People that lift you up and people that bring you down. So that's one part of emotional health. The second part is the emotional health that's happening inside your mind. I always tell people you can cut out all the toxic people in your life, but how do you cut out a toxic brain that's telling you negative things like, oh my gosh, things are going to happen in this world. The world's coming to an end. What am I going to do about my job? What am I going to do about my school? What am I going to do about my income? The worrying, the negative thoughts. Being able to say, you know what? There's 2 people that live inside my mind. One of them is someone who's very positive, who actually wants to feel good and feel mentally healthy. And the other part of your brain is the one that's filled with doubt and worry. I call it your alter ego. And it's the one that's actually going to take away the sweetness and the enjoyment of all the moments, the good moments you may be able to have right now by spending extra time with your family and really focusing on the positive. So being able to tell that negative part of your brain, be quiet. I'd like to sit down and look at this opportunity of being possibly forced to stay at home or not having that job or not being able to have the kids, at school and have their normal schedules. This is really a time that I can look at it as the cup half full instead of the cup half empty. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for whatever reason, has chosen for us to go through this plague right now. And what does he want me to learn from it? So really keeping positive thoughts in your mind, that's part of your emotional health. In terms of your spiritual health, this is a wonderful time for you to reflect. I know many of us have taken on extra or even starting to pray regularly, or even starting to spend more time in ibadat, learning about the tafsir of the Quran, making this downtime that we have for the next few months, because we really are looking at another, at least 3-4 months of this time, especially if you have children at home, that we're going to be home with them. Let's use this time wisely to actually grow in our iman and really learn something new. With Ramadan just around the corner, April 24th, I believe, is the date that Ramadan starts. Let's use this time now to set some goals for ourselves and actually be able to accomplish them. One of the things that we've really started in our home that's been so wonderful is having at least 1 salah a day, if not more, because the kids are home all day, but praying together in Jamaat as a family, explaining to the children about how much more ajr and good rewards you get when we pray together as a family. And I always say families that pray together stay together. So really working on your spiritual health as well. So now we've talked about physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and last is intellectual health. Intellectual health means making sure that your brain is churning and thinking of new ideas and new things. And what can you do during a time where you're stuck at home? My daughter came up with some wonderful ideas of activities that we can do at home that she's finding on different social media sites. There's simple things like you can take photographs of the family and take old t-shirts and you wrap them up. You wrap up the photograph in saran wrap and you get cookie sheet, wax paper, and you iron it on shirts. And now you've got an arts and crafts activity. Maybe you get paper out and everyone does drawings on canvas and get some paint. And you guys can do that together. Maybe there's some old furniture that you've been wanting to fix up and you teach the kids some new skills. Some other things that you can do are, one thing that I think every parent should do during these next few months is teach your kids, if they don't already know, how to sew a button on. Simple life skills that we're all going to need to know. But trust me, they're going to say, I remember during that COVID crisis, that's when I learned how to sew this button. So now that I'm an adult and I'm stuck in this hotel room with a broken button, or I'm about to go into a meeting, I know how to do this. So try to think of activities that you can do to really stimulate that mind, really stimulate your brain. And the other thing that I've started with the kids, which I think is really great, is spending a quality time, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, where everyone just reads. So there's lots of things that we can do to stimulate our intellectual health, even if we're stuck at home or just in our backyard, etc. So remember, balancing physical health, emotional health, intellectual health, and spiritual health should help you to get this time, to use this time wisely and to successfully navigate through these next few months. Inshallah, I hope you find that beneficial. I know that we're breaking for Maghrib, and so I want to make sure that all of you, please remember me in your du'as, and hopefully you're able to use some of these tips and some of this advice to maintain that balance that we all are striving to achieve. Take care. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.